Oh, hello, I'm Maddie, and today I'm washing the dirty dishes in the sink. Do you help do the dishes? At home, we use water in lots of different ways, don't we? We use it to wash up, cook, clean, and drink. But how does the water come out of the tap ready to drink? Do you know where clean water comes from? Let's find out. How does it work?
Clean drinking water.
To find out where drinking water comes from, I'm starting at a reservoir. A reservoir is where lots of water is stored to be used in our homes. Where does all this water come from? Some water comes from the land. When it rains, the water runs off the land into the rivers. Some water comes from under the ground and out of small holes in the earth called springs. And some gets recycled after it's gone down the plug hole. But how does water from all these places get to the reservoir into our homes? Where does it go? Can you hear that sound? All of this water has travelled through drains and pipes from our homes. Sounds like a waterfall, doesn't it? Well, this is called a water inlet. And all of the water rushes down there and it ends up in here at the reservoir, along with all the rainwater and the spring water. But where does the water from the reservoir go? Over there is a tower called a draw-off tower, but we can only see the top of it. The rest of the tower goes 20 metres down underwater. That's about as tall as 4 giraffes standing on top of each other. Look how tall it is. And I've been given special permission to take a look inside. The draw-off tower is where all the water from the reservoir is taken out to be cleaned. Wow, I've got to get all the way down there. Inside the draw-off tower are pipes, and inside the pipes are valves. The valves open and close, and when they open, water can rush through from the reservoir through the pipes. When they close, the water stops. And when the valve opens, the water moves along the pipes to here. This is the water treatment plant. And here there are different types of tanks where the water from the reservoir is cleaned so we can drink it. But to find out how the reservoir and the water treatment plant work together to get the water really clean, I think we need to take a closer look. The reservoir collects water from natural springs and rivers, the rain, and water inlets. A draw tower opens its valves, which lets water from the reservoir travel down pipes to a screen that filters out any litter or waste. The water passes into the water treatment plant and goes through 4 different cleaning tanks that make our water really clean before travelling along pipes into our homes. So we can drink clean water from the tap. That was so interesting. And here is our first set of cleaning tanks. They're called flocculators. What a funny name. Inside the tanks, the water is mixed with a liquid called ferric, and ferric has bits of iron in it. The iron works like a magnet, collecting all of the dirt and grit that's in the water. And these paddles help to mix the dirt in the water with the ferric before it goes inside to the next set of tanks. To get the water really clean, air is pumped into the bottom of these tanks. They're called dissolved air flotation tanks. Can you see that the water at the top of the tank is brown and foamy? That's all the ferric with dirt stuck to it. And over there, those are skimmers that are skimming the sludge off the top. But I wonder what's happening underneath the water. Time for one of my special underwater cameras. OK, we're recording, which I've attached to a long pole. look at all those bubbles. The air is pushing dirt from the bottom of the tank to the surface. So it goes really brown and sludgy on the top. Watch what happens when I put the camera in the water. It still looks brown, but can you see all the lumps are floating up to the surface, ready to be skimmed off by the skimmers? Next, the water is pumped outside to these huge tanks to be cleaned even more. These tanks are full of this stuff. It's called carbon. And carbon is a natural material, and it's got a really lumpy, bumpy surface. The water passes through the carbon, and any chemicals that we can't see in the water get trapped in all of those lumps and bumps, leaving the rest of the clean water to filter through, ready for the final stage. This is called disinfecting, and inside those pipes, anything that is not good for us to drink is taken out of the water. And now the water is clean. From here, the drinking water is pumped through underground pipes and is kept in storage tanks that will hold the water so we're ready to use it in our homes. I loved finding out how we get clean water. What was your favourite bit? Can you remember the name of the building that takes all of the water from the reservoir? That's right, it's the draw-off tower. Did you hear all the water rushing through the water inlet into the reservoir? Sounds like a waterfall, doesn't it? And did you see all the bubbles on my special camera in the dissolved air flotation tanks? Did you know that plants and trees get the water they drink from under the ground through their roots? Some vegetables even grow underground, just like these vegetables. But what are they called? Carrots. But how does a carrot grow under the ground? And why is it orange? Do you know how a carrot's made? Let's find out. How is it made?
Carrot.
To find out how carrots are made, I've come here to a carrot farm. Every carrot starts out as a tiny seed like this one, and it grows into a carrot that we can eat, like this. Most carrots are orange because they contain lots of a natural chemical called beta-carotene. Beta-carotene is a reddish-orange colour, and it's also the reason why carrots are so good for us. When we eat a carrot, our bodies take the beta-carotene and they turn it into something called vitamin A, which is great for our eyesight. But how does a tiny seed grow into a yummy carrot? First, it needs to be planted. To plant this entire field is going to take a really long time. So we need a bit of help with one of these. A tractor pulling a special machine called a seed drill. You should never play on or go near farm machinery without a grown-up, but I've got special permission to show you how it works. This is a seed hopper, and if we take a look inside, there are thousands and thousands of carrot seeds. But look, they're green. The seeds have been dyed green so the farmer can see where they've been planted because they're so tiny. Now the seeds, they're sucked onto this disc into those tiny little holes, and the disc spins around, and then the seeds are knocked off one at a time at the bottom so they're perfectly spaced apart in the soil. Should we see it in action? The seed drill has 10 hoppers full of seeds and can plant 5 million seeds every hour. When the seed is in the ground, it soaks up water, and after about a week, a root will grow down and a shoot will pop up above the soil, and this stage is called germination. After around 3 months, that little shoot turns into these big green plants. It's like the carrot's fluffy hairstyle, isn't it? But what does a carrot need to grow? The leaves collect sunlight, and at the same time, a gas called carbon dioxide, which is in the air all around us. and the carrot roots collect water from the ground. The sunlight, carbon dioxide and water all work together inside the carrot to make food, so the carrot can grow. It's called photosynthesis. To see the carrots underground, I'm going to use one of my special cameras. This is called a probe. It's perfect for finding carrots because it's bendy and it can get into lots of unusual places. Look, it's like a wiggly worm. Right, let's see what we can find. Whoa! Can you see the tiny baby carrot going in the ground? I wonder how deep the root goes. Let's move this a bit. Can you see all of those wiry little hairs? Those are more roots that are sprouting out of the sides of the carrot. This is how the carrot gets water from the soil. I think these carrots have a bit more growing to do though, so I'm going to leave them where they are. But what happens to the water once it's inside the carrot? Here we go. This part of the carrot is called the central core. And inside the central core is something called xylem. It's the xylem that carry water all the way up to the leaves so the carrot can grow. Works a little bit like a straw. Clever, isn't it? After 5 months, the farmer covers the carrots in straw to keep them warm until they're ready to be picked. This is a harvester, and I've been given special permission to jump on board and see the carrots that have been pulled up out of the ground. The harvester digs into the ground underneath the carrots and scoops them up into the harvester, where they go up a lift and come out here onto a conveyor belt. They go along this wobbly conveyor belt that jiggles all of the dirt off them. Can you hear it? The carrot then finishes its journey by dropping into a big container. That was brilliant. And here's one now. I loved finding out how carrots are made. What was your favourite part? Do you remember the name of the machine that planted the seeds into the ground? That's right, it's called a seed drill. Did you hear the sound the conveyor belt made on the harvester? And did you see the tiny carrots growing underground on my special camera? So the next time you see carrots at the shops, you'll know how they grew underground. And when you have a glass of water from the tap, you'll know how it was cleaned, so it's safe for us to drink. I'll see you next time.
There are lots of things